Now, one very useful feature in COMOSYS is the usage of what we call groups. So if you notice on the left-hand side under the Model Explorer, there is something called groups. And when you open it, I mean, in this particular model, there are already several groups which have been created, and you can always right-click over here and create a new group as well. And you can create groups under other groups as well. So it's a hierarchical structure. But the point of a group is that normally when you're doing filtering, so let's say, for example, if I go into the filter command, I've got all these filtering options, but these filtering options all have some logic to them in the sense that, for example, I can say I want to filter out only the columns, right? So there's a logic which means that I don't want this. So it's a very well defined logic. If I say only the columns and I say okay, then only the column profiles are filtered out from the profiles. The other objects, of course, stay there, but from the profiles, only the columns have been filtered out. So there's a logic behind this filter. I could go in and say I want everything else other than the columns, and in that case, everything but the columns would be filtered out. So the normal regular filter command obviously has a logic to it. Similarly, if I were to go into the plates, I can say those plates with this particular material, or only the contour plates, or only the folded plates, or checkered plates, or some logic would need to be provided, or plates with thicknesses greater than or less than this. Or if it's an object type, I could say I want only the grids and the profile and the plates and the bolts, etc. So most of these options over here are based on some logic which can be used for filtering on the screen. Now, but the grouping option is a unique option which doesn't really require any logic. For example, if I wanted to filter out this particular area of the structure, whatever it is that I've selected, there is no way I can do this by using the normal filter command, because it's a hodgepodge of all sorts of different things, and it would be impossible to create this exact filter using the filter command. But what I can do is I can come to my groups over here and right click, and I say create group. I can give it a name. Let's call it G1. Say okay. So when you do that, you see that it is created inside your, let's see where there it is, the G1 group has been created. And once it's created, what you can do is you can make any selection. So let's select this over here, and let's press Control and do a little selection over here as well. And what we can do is we can add these selected elements inside that group called G1. And to do that, what you need to do is you need to press this little button over here at the bottom of the view, which is basically allows you to drag those elements into this group. So what you do is you click on this, and then you bring your mouse button over the G1 group and you left click. And the moment you do that, you notice that the numbers change, and it says 1222. These are the number of objects which you have just put in that group called G1. So you can also see it over here, because the number of objects which you had selected were 1222. So you've now put 1222 objects in that group called G1. Now, if I were to go back to my filter now over here, and you notice that among all these tabs, like I said, had a logical structure to them. But there's a tab called groups as well. And in this groups tab, I will see my G1, which I've created. This is the G1. And I can select it and say, okay. When I do that, if I say, okay, what you'll see on the screen is that only the G1, the elements which belong to G1 have been filtered out, right? And I can reverse that as well. I can go back to my filter and say G1 and then select this, which means not G1. Whenever you select this one on the left, it means basically means not G1. uh, those objects which do not belong to G1. And if I do that, then the structure is that part is removed and that part is removed from there, and we get the rest of it basically. So what this grouping allows us to do is to filter out any random set of elements which don't really have any logic to it. And just as you can filter them out on the modeling side, you can also filter them out on the drawing side as well. So this is used both for modeling as well as for the creation of drawing.